Attention, attention, attention. This is the Townnet A of the day. I am your net controller, Teen number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. Reminder to all that the net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Unit number 4, Hotel Alpha Apple.
Anyone else want to check in? Check in, check in. Time to post online. See if any respond. Check in, check in, check in. It is time to check in. It's the check-in time. It's the check-in time. Check in, check in, check in. Well, 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 well. Check in. It is now 1 p.m. This is the Town at 8 of the day. Final call. Check in. Anyone? Check in. We will begin. Boom. Warm up round. Let's go. Okay. Very interesting day. So let me update everyone with a little story of the celestial medic. Things that happened last night. So last night, Kim Sajon somehow prepared a very small portion dinner, and I thought it was okay because I wasn't hungry after that. So I was like, okay, we'll see what happened. And then I went through everything. It seemed pretty okay. I don't have like a super hungry feeling, so I was like, okay, let's sleep. And then before I sleep, that was about 10:45 p.m. And Kim Sa-John said, "Oh, I'm hungry. I need to eat." So usually, like she's not like hungry that fast, but somehow she is hungry because the dinner was small, right? So I thought to myself, I don't really feel hungry yet. It should be okay. So I'll sleep. So I get on the bed and I was like, let me do a pulse reading on myself. And I was checking my right hand. So I look at the kidney because I want to know how my sleep will become. So the kidney shows that there's like a very weak pulse and all that. So yeah, the no power to go back to pre-heaven, that kind of thing. Okay. I was like, let's sleep. So according to Kim Saton, I fell into the sleep state really fast. So yeah, like really fast. And then I woke up. I thought, oh, it's time to wake up. Let me check the watch. Ah, crap! It's only like 12:45 or something. And then I was hungry. I got up, go to pee, and I thought, oh man, it's so hungry. I can't stand it. Now I need to eat. So I went to the kitchen, got a snack, and finally I'm like, okay, I think I can sleep now. So I slept. Still not very good because the snack wasn't like a really big one, right? So I slept, and then I woke up again. I look at the clock. Shit. 4:45. I went to the washroom, walked around and checked messages, and it was 5 already. So I'm like, I'll just get up. I'm not tanking that extra 30 minutes. So I woke up, I still like not feeling really recharged, right? So it's kind of like took some time to wake up. But yeah, the whole story is like that kidney thing is freaky accurate, and it felt horrible. But anyway, that tells me one thing. I know I'm OT. There are like common sayings like, you should eat less for dinner. You should eat like a light dinner. It's healthy. You can eat more in the day, but in the dinner, you should not eat so much. Bullshit. You don't eat enough. There's not enough chi to go back to pre-heaven, and that kidney is being killed. So after this, I learned. I'm like, no, 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 no. Dinner, whatever you say, I'm not gonna like do light dinner ever in my life. Anyway, let's move on. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Team number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajwan, I really can't stress to people how important not only the celestial medic, how important it is, not just because it's information and you can use it. This is like your survival toolkit. You know, like wherever you go, you could div, you could check on yourself. Like it's so convenient and you just have to learn it once. And this ghost month, yeah, it is no playing around. Like last night, like before I did the exorcism and cleaning, like as I came home, I just felt like everything was just a struggle. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, like I came home, I saw the frame, I got excited. I saw the stamp. I was like, all right, cool. I can get stuff moving. And as I open it, boom! It's like the frame is broken, the glass is broken, and the ink is the wrong ink. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, Sajran told me. He told me winter is coming, but I was dragging my feet. So yeah, this is a good lesson learned to not mess around with Ghost Month and this is the celestial medic stuff. I'm really grateful for it. I haven't gotten through everything just yet, but I'm excited to go through the videos. But the videos you posted, hopefully we can do like a live example. Like you could probably use me. I did look at the videos and I do have a couple of questions, but I will leave that after we finish our warm up round. And yeah, all these things are coming to us at the right time, and these are tools that we need to have in our survival kit, and be able to just not be a victim. Back to you, Senior number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Oh, you have not tried the pulse reading? It's not that hard. Go try it. It's not going to be like perfect. When you first learn it, it takes some time to actually understand how to do it. But it's like a thing that once you get it, you're not going to forget it. So yeah, try it out. Don't be afraid of wrongs. And also, not to forget, I just made that web page, the HTML, and you can like use that, put it on your phone, right? And then like as you read, you plug in the information and then analyze, and then you can read what it say, and it will tell you everything. So that's kind of nice. I tried it myself. It's not bad. Like as a starting point, it's not bad, but there are things that a human could read better because like what they're doing is like giving you a basic robotic kind of reading. But when we are actually doing it ourselves, you might be having a different feeling. Like you don't need to read everything. Like sometimes it's like last night I sleep, right? I know I'm not going to sleep well because I'm hungry. So I only read the kidney and that's it. I just need that. Like, yeah, if one day I wake up and I have like a cough or sneezing and things like that, and I just read the lung to see what's happened to the lung, right? So you can just pinpoint one thing and read that and just check up like, why am I feeling like this? Oh, I feel pain in the stomach. Yeah, check your stomach, right? It's all there. Just, it's all there. Oh, my hand is hurting. Hand, heart channel. So check the heart, right? That's how it is. So you don't need to read everything. Sometimes you spot like one problem and then you just look at that organ just to check, Yeah. Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Good afternoon, everyone on the net. And even if you can't talk on the net, at least check in. Let everyone know that you're out there. At least let us know that you're out there and listening. That's also a way of checking in. We don't have to always talk, but you can talk and say, "Hey, I'm listening in the background." That's always a good thing. So, John, I did have a good time doing the readings. I've been experimenting on myself since the new edition came out, and I've been learning as I go that the pulse is different in each arm. Sometimes it kind of slips away in certain places, and other times it's really strong, and then in other places it goes it goes a different way. And I'm learning as I'm going what certain things mean and how it's not alarmist. I'm looking forward, to how to fix, to at least try to make myself feel better and help it to, things that could interfere with my reading. Like, for example, there's the discussion says that you need to breathe. I'm like, is it better if I lay down or if I sit up? Is it better and I think in one of my readings, I actually got on an interesting reading because I was sensing the pulse in my finger rather than the pulse in my wrist. Completely different pulse, but I had to be aware of that because if I didn't, then that gave me a different reading. So I'm like, wait. I'm getting something else. This isn't the pulse in my wrist. This is the pulse in my finger. And I had to adjust for that. I'm very intrigued with everything that's happening and reading everything very much and enjoying that. So back to you. Tingette number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay. Yeah, the pulse reading is different throughout the day. It's not the same because it's live, right? Like your organs, if you understand that it's not really your physical organ, like now, right? So if you're using, let's say, I'm thinking a lot, like right now, I'm like using my thinking power a lot, right? So it's related to the liver. Then your liver is going to get hot. It's going to get it's going to pump faster or it's going to pump more juice, right? So it's very obvious that, whatever you're doing will change the pulse. Like you just ate dinner or, you're like very full right now. You just finished eating a big feast, right? The pulse is different. So imagine you go to a doctor and they read like that and it's like, hey, how come it's so different every time? Well, because of what you were doing. So this knowledge is really good to learn it and do it yourself instead of like going to someone and and like have them do it once, because you don't know, like they measure it as like this now, and then when you go home it changed already. Or maybe like someone just broke your heart and you're so down, and suddenly the pose all changes. So that's one thing why I say, Celestial Medic is good for you to learn and use it on yourself. Um, um, so is there anyone who want to check in? Okay, no one checking in. Okay then. Uh, so let's start with a different topic. Um, so this morning, um, I was talking to Hong, and we brought up some interesting topic. One is the fool. He was like he taped up a fool, and he thought it's like, oh, it's not broken, I can just leave it there forever. Oh, it's not like that. So I explained to him, like, if you tape up a fool, so you have a god assigned there to do the job. So you're not letting your god to go back to where it came from. Then the god is never returning home and becoming the blood, right? Like your god goes out and is not coming home, it will never become the blood, and you will never get the upgrade from what the god had for its experience, right? And also, if a god never return, it's kind of like you run the computer or a phone and you don't restart. It will get exhausted. It's like you send a person to work and you don't give it vacation time, you don't give it like off time, right? Like you don't let it take breaks, and eventually that person that went out is going to get exhausted and they will not be able to do the job. So for most of the fool, like if you put up a fool for hum protection or whatever, usually they are like in general purpose, they're for about 1 year. At the end of the year, then they're all supposed to go home. You can take it down, burn it, or at the end of the year, we have one thing which we call the big cleaning, right? So before the new year, right, we clean up the whole altar and disassemble it and so on. And because of that, it's like, yeah, we master reset the whole system, right? So everything linked to it is cut off. And so all the old foods are actually not effective. Like they're all bye-bye, like that, shut down. So next year, you can tape up new foods again, right? That's the healthy way to do it. So letting your God, take a break is very, very important. If there are foods that are more like, for example, oh, I have a ghost month food to guard the door. Now, this one is for a specific purpose. So you want to like leave it there, and then after the ghost month ended, maybe wait a day or two and take it down, because the original intention was for that, right? So the God sent is for ghost month protection. So ghost month is over, the God's supposed to go home. So you take it down, burn it. But you can always have the second food taped up. So you take this one down, tape new one up, right? And this one is for like maybe a month or 2 months or 3 months, depending on what you're facing. So you can do that. But it's always important to remember that there's no food that will last forever, no matter how strong you are. Team number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Yes, Adrian, that just reminded me of a question. So, how do we install into the food that we only want the god to be here for a certain amount of days? So, like when I do my food again and I check it and I make duplicates and I give it to Kai and Fong Seja, how do I program into the food that I want it to just last for a couple of days? Because I don't want it to be over by them indefinite, not coming back and giving me my blood. And two, how should we tape the food? I know the front of the food should be facing wherever we want it to defend. But what if we want to put it on the door itself? So should we put the front of the food, tape it on the door? So that means I will be looking at the back of the food while it sticks to the door. Is that how it should be? I know, like for like my back glass window there that got broken, I'll have to tape a food on the wall, the wall that's opposite it, so the food would be looking at that particular wall, well, that particular glass door. But I'm not too sure about how I want to do it for like my front door, because I actually want to put it on the door itself, but that means it would the face of the food would be sticking to the back of the door. Hopefully that makes sense. Back to you, team at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay. Well, first of all, the how long a food will last. You can always talk to the food god. Very simple. If you just check food, right, you can just let your god know. Or if you like just check the food in your hand, right, you close your eyes and you talk to it, and then you shake the food to input the message to the god related to it, right? So before I ship the food out, I hold the food and I say, okay, this is for Kai, and it's only for 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks after he opened it. When I'm done, right, you stomp your right foot and you shake. Okay, so you do a diff cup and see, do you get it? You get it, then it's okay. No, okay, just like that. Very simple. If the food is already went out, you can always tell your landlord, right, that to trace a certain food. And then, the landlord goes into D6, right? So it can trace the food. So tell the landlord, trace the food that I sent to Feng and deactivate it. Do you get it? Do a div, right? Okay, you get it. So later I come back and I div, is it deactivated yet? Right? Is it like cancel yet? Like that. Okay, so just like that. Very simple. Taping the food on the main door. Well, there are 2 ways. One, you go outside and tape it on the outside so the face can face outside. But there are people who cannot do that because of whatever reason. Then you have to burn the food from the outside into the door, or you can burn it into something that you will put on the door and it can face outside. For me, I have a food that is like blocking away COVID. I burn it into a coin, like those Chinese coin, and they kind of like blend in with the color of my door. So I just I forgot to tape or glue the coin outside, so it's kind of like blending with the background. You don't really see it, but yeah, it's like that. So the coin is there as the new body of the food. That can be done. Okay. It can be like other kind of decoration as well. Remember, if you're putting the food into a new body to hold it, right, you will fold the food outward and burn the top. Okay, burn the top. Okay, fold outward, burn the top. Okay. If the food is like no longer used, you want to send the god home, then you fold inward and burn the top. Okay, it means go back into the sky, which is the source, right? So if I want the food to go here and start doing stuff, I will fold outward and burn the bottom. Okay, so when you're making the food water for spraying, that is the burn bottom and fold outward. If I'm capturing stuff and I want to send it into the altar, it will be fold inward and burn the bottom. It means going into the ground, and the ground is the altar. Okay, so if I go around, sweep the house, and want to like capture the Yi crab back in, that will be fold inward and burn the bottom. Okay, Let's move on. Senior number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Team number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. As we're getting ready for the rest of the, for the upcoming ceremony, I wanted to, I know it's a ways away, but I wanted to know about the importance of the 8 immortals. And although we have some information on our website, and everything, but I wanted to kind of get a better understanding, because a lot of what we're doing, like clearing up the things and helping us process the food and everything like that, how do we get, or what do we need to prepare it? I think we have everything, the magical tools like the fan and the drum and the sword, and we have the kazoo or the flute now, but and some of us have the gourd, but how do we see this and apply it in our daily work, and what should we be preparing for as we get closer to the ceremony date? Or is that not? No, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I was about to say it. Back to you. Tanya, number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Or maybe I am wrong. I don't know. Oh my. Okay, I will talk more about that much later, because we're now moving toward the lunar July 15th. And what you're talking about is for the lunar August. So that's 1 month away. But in short, the 8 immortals are actually 8 gods. Like they're 8 different gods, and they're guardian, kind of like the dragon, the lion, and all that, right? They're like 8 guardians. So you don't relate that to like our actual fan and gird and all that. No, not related. Okay. They are the 8 guardians, and they are in the lineage. They are inside the altar, helping the altar to operate. Okay. There will be more teachings on that later when it comes closer. But now everyone should be focusing on the Ghost Month. Okay. So beefing up the defense, cleaning up the house, be more on guard about the ghosts, that kind of thing. It's important. Okay, so one more thing about the Ghost Month Fu. You see, you burn, like you have a Fu for protection, right? So every Fu is a ticket. Okay, so I take 1 Fu and I say, okay, I need a person to help me protect the door. Okay, you take 1 Fu and you tape it at the door, right? Usually it's fine because nothing happened. But if some ghost or whatever comes to challenge, and then your god have to fight, right? So now you have 1 guy standing there. Okay, that's the John. John is here fighting the evil thing. Okay, 1-on-1, no problem. 1-to-2, no problem, right? 1-to-5, still okay. What if 1-to-20? Oh, that's a little bit too much, right? So your god can fail because it's not powerful enough, or even like being outnumbered by the enemy. So 1 Fu sometimes is really not enough. The gods can carry troops, but the troops are like under them, and they are just like 1 team, so they can only do 1 thing, right? But you have to think about what you're facing. Maybe you want more. So I take a 2nd Fu, a 3rd Fu, maybe even 5 Fu, and I tape it there. Oh, why do I take 5? Because I have 5 teams. Now they can do 5 things, right? So yeah, more people, more manpower, it does make a difference. So using 1 Fu versus using like 10 Fu is a different kind of result. because you are actually sending out more people, more gods, more teams, right? If I want to send a food to Tinha to protect the house, I send one food. That's one team, one god. They're only going to like stay inside. If anyone breaks in, we're gonna like deal with it. Like that's it. But if I send like let's say 10 food, then I can assign them differently. One for the east, one for the north, one for the south, one for west, and then the other corner, one for the top, one for the bottom. Right? Like you have different teams, and now because of that, it's stronger. Right? So it does make a difference. That's why this morning I tell Tin Hong, why are you making like he made one clone of each flu? I was like, why are you making one? That's a waste of time. Like you don't even need to clone it if you only need one flu. So he don't understand. I said, well, yeah, look, if you need like 10 flu, right, you're going to write that or you're going to like burn one flu and make 10, right? Think about it. Uh, so Tina number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Teammate number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajwan, you made a really good analogy that really sunk it deeper for me. You know, it's like when you're playing those video games and you have like one main supporting character that have like his little troops, he's like the general and he fighting, but they're just for support. They can't really take on the enemy. I mean, they could, but they could only do it like in a group. And yeah, I mean, funny enough, that's exactly how game of Clash of Clans are. So like you have your big leader with the guy who does you usually walk around your little village. I don't know what you name him, and then you have these small little barbarians, and I'm assuming the troops will be like these small little barbarians. They can do stuff, but they can't really take on the big guy like that. Depending on how strong he is too. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of correlations with Clash of Clans and how we could use that to have a better mental framework of what's happening because none of some of us don't have the ability to see these things as yet. Hopefully, I'll be able to see it in D6 soon, or maybe not soon. Because I remember you said if you get these powers, that mean you had to fight, and I don't know if I'm ready to fight. I mean, I want to fight, but today I was getting my ass handed to me. It was funny. I was like, yeah. But you also brought up a really good point just now. So you said send a food over to like Hasseljar. So if I make like 20, 30 foods when I cloning, could I just use my landlord to fly the food over to Kai? Is that possible? Back to internet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yeah, you can. Flying the food. Um, well, you don't fly it to him, you fly it to his house, right? To him, then it follows him. So it depends on where you want it to go. Um, it can also be like he have his clones, and then you fly the food into the clones for him. That can also do the job. Ah, but it is always best to you make the food, the clone, and then just burn it into him. That will work even better. Okay. Um, yeah, the Clash of Clan hero, the barbarian king. Yeah, that is exactly like that. When you say troops, it's like they're the little barbarians at the back, and they help, but they're just like doing one thing at a time. So when you have more food doing the same project, it's a totally different thing. For example, you go into a house, right? Like you have like if you're commanding a team of SWAT people, SWAT team, right? You have like, okay, you two go here, you go here, you go here, and okay, everyone go. Then it's like, wow, boom, the whole bunch of people go in teams, and they're like knowing what they have to do, right? This guy go clear the kitchen, this guy go for the bedroom, this guy go over here. They're not like all in one bunch walking around the house. They're surrounding it at once, and that's powerful, right? So if you're like moving into a new house, you're not gonna like take one food and then burn it into the house and like, okay, just bring in the god and do the clearing. That's one team, and it's slow. It's like you can't cover everything at once, right? So yeah, having more food it's always like really good idea. So now you have a printer, it's a really good idea to clone some of the food. Um, Talking about the food clones, they don't need to be exactly like printed as well. Um, if I know I'm just cloning one food into many, right? I would like cut out some small food paper, like the food head size, and I can pretty much just scribble a thing on it, like a chickling or whatever, and then just like do a stamp just to mark that they are cloned, and then I just burn the actual food into the bunch of the chicklings. So because chickling is like 0.1 second and it's done, right? So you scribble on it, so it's really easy to make. And then imagine you're using it at the location, burning food here and there, right? Like you have a stack in your hand and just like throw a bunch here, throw a bunch there, right? It's like that. So it become very easy to clone like that. But because now it's like Ghostman special, so if you print the clones out, it looks nicer in a way. But practically speaking, it could be all just like a scribble. TN number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Yeah. Putting those up around the house, and then the analogy with the COC is definitely the way I envision it anyway. And I'm thinking about how these things kind of look around at this location like a bubble. Your property is protected, but the one next to it isn't necessarily so. And leakage, looking for or things that might try to bust your formation, because they don't stop. Just because you got one up doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to last forever. It's pretty strong, but they sometimes can gang up together and go, oh, there's a weak spot, let's go over there. Pretty soon you got 8, 9 of them ganging up, or whatever many, to try to break in the formation. So that's kind of how I envision that kind of thing happening. But yeah, Tinny at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Yes, you remember back then I shipped you a formation full setup. There are like 10 of the chips, right? Like casino chips. And inside that set of chips, there are 49 food together in the whole set. So 49 food. And I burned them into a bunch of chips so that they can hold it, like each of them will hold different things. And that become the whole setup. So 49, not one, okay? This morning, Hong was asking me, yeah, I am kind of like worried if I make all the clones and food, I put it at the altar, and maybe I'll use it later, but it feels like they're not fresh. It's like food, right? Like he is afraid if they put it there for a long time and not use it, they go bad. I said, no, it's not the food itself that is the thing, right? The food is a ticket. So when your ticket is like pre-printed, put on the altar, pre-authorized, right? That means later, whenever you need to use it, your ticket will be submitted to the altar, and the god then will come out to do stuff. So they won't get like expired or go bad because it was never used until you use it, right? The god is being pulled out when you decide to use the food. So maybe you use the ticket like 2 months later, 2 years later. It's fine. The most updated, the most like up-to-date god will be brought out by then, because your ticket is just calling up on the god that is there at the moment. So it's not like, yeah, I checked the food, it had the God and it's staying there forever. So if I use it like 3 months later, I got better, but the God sucks and it still remained that. No, it doesn't. Okay. So keep that in mind. You know, your food is a ticket. It's not the food itself that is the thing. Okay. Very important. Team jet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Sajan, you just mentioned about how the gods get upgraded, and I feel like since we did our last ceremony where we drank the food water, I felt like my gods have gotten upgraded because my landlord is um, much more intuitive. So, for example, the other day, I think I went out to do something and I came back and I didn't need to clean myself because he already cleaned me, and that is not something out of the usual, but uh, he just did it instantly now because I came and I checked and I was like, oh, do you need to do anything now? Or the other day when the maintenance guy came over, I told my landlord, yo, some this maintenance guy is coming over. If anything is following him, keep it by the door, keep it outside, make sure and kill it. And let's and then after the guy left, I didn't even need to do the walk around the house with the spray bottle. No, I just did the quick clean, and boom, it just happened because it was advanced. And then something else happened, and I was like, oh wow, like y'all moving on like 100. It was so cool. And also, you just said something that kind of blew my mind. So obviously it's preferable if we write out the foo and stick it up and make it look good because it's professional. But for practicality's sake, I could just write one of the foos, do one foo, and then clone them on the foo paper I have right now because I have a stack of foo paper that I cut out, the normal one, the 23 by 6.5. I have those. So I will do one foo, write it out correctly, and check it, go to the check ceremony, and I could just burn that into a ton of other foods that I have, well, the food paper itself, and just put a scribble on it. It don't have to be anything fancy, just for practicality. If that is the case, I could do that today and send that over to Kai because just like in Game of Thrones, I feel like winter is here and shit's about to hit the fan. Like, craziness. Yeah, back to you, Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
The short answer is yes, you can, because you're just cloning it into another body, and the body can be anything, right? So if you clone it into a stack of full paper, make sure you write something on it. Just you want to know what that is, right? Like at least there's a marking or whatever. So yeah, I have an idea. Like you can get a stamp. Those stamp with like you can turn around for the date, right? But it's like 6 numbers or something. Okay, like they use like 6 or 8 numbers for a date, so you can like turn the numbers, and then on a book you can like, okay, today I clone this fool, and there's a password, right? So 1 2 2 3 4 5 6, something like that, and then I turn the stamp. So all the clone will have a tickling, and then the stamp of the number like beside it. So I just need the tickling, right? And I can stamp all the number. So whenever I need to reference back, I look at my book. Okay, this number is this fool. Now I get it. And even the tickling can be like a stamp as well. Like you can make a big tickling stamp and just like keep duplicating it, and then it will look the same all the time. So that could be done. Okay, that could be done practically. I saw people make like self-inking stamp that is like really big, like to the point they chop it on like the tick out box and t-shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, you can do the tickling, or maybe a full head or something. Maybe I can create a nice template and just kind of like stamp, or maybe a fake fool or something, right? And then plus the number, then together it makes the whole process much faster. Okay. Now to blow your mind even more, you see, we're cloning the fool into different bodies, right? So if you have a dish of rice or a dish of beans, you see why we use rice and beans now, right? So those rice and beans become the body. One grain of rice is one God, right? One specific God. So you clone one food into a dish of rice, you have like so many gods. So when you throw the rice to somewhere, it's like that many gods are out doing stuff, right? Yeah. So now you kind of understand why that funny Taiwan towelers, they're like, yeah, we burn it into the whole bucket of rice and they just splash it all over the building because they want to use a lot of God to swarm over the ye crab. So they don't care, they're like, I don't care. And they just splash the whole bucket everywhere. But yeah, there's always different ways to clone that is very creative and efficient. So yeah. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. I had a question going back to the Celestial Medic. And I know that we briefly touched on the tongue, but is there anything that pertains to the eyes? Sometimes the eye has different look or maybe things to look out for. Is there anything that the Celestial Medic addresses with eyes? Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
I thought I explained already. Okay, let me ask. Do you know the eyes relate to which organ?
Ticket number 4, no, it escapes me. I can go look it up, but I'm thinking it. I'm not. No, I don't know.
Okay, well, everything on the head, right, it relates to something. So the head is the Yun Sun, the 5 element of the Yun Sun. The gold is the nose, okay? Gold is the nose. Water is the ears. Wood is the eyes. Fire is the tongue. And earth is the mouth. So you're talking about the eyes, that's the wood. You can kind of remember it this way because wood goes up, right? It goes upward. You need to lift your eyelids to open the eyes. So yeah, you can kind of get it this way. So the eyes is related to the liver, the organ, right? So if you feel your eyes is very heavy, it means that the related organ is damp, sluggish, damp, right? Damp means a lot of chi is stuck inside and cannot come out. Yippy, okay? Very yippy. If your eyes feel very dry, right, it means that the wind is high. Like there's imagine a carpet, right? If you put water on the carpet like my water damage, you need to blow dry, right? Blow it, dry it up. So if your eye feel too dry, it means there's so much wind. The chi is too fast, right? So what does it mean? Chi is fast. It means that the chi is in like fire element, very, very fast. And your eyes is being rushed while it doesn't have much resources, right? So it's like your carpet is already dry and you keep blowing it, it become like ultra dry, right? So you feel that effect. So the wind is moving too fast. You need to slow down the wind, the chi. If your eyes feel like hot, right? The heat is because you have like the wind is going on the fire element manifesting and being burnt. And there's a lot of blood and chi and you're burning it, non-stop burning it. And the eyes feel hot. Yeah, there's so many other ways. Well, if your eyes feel cold, chi is not moving, but there's blood. Okay, so yeah, water element. So it's all about the chi and the blood. The blood in the organ is like money, and the chi is like how fast the money is being used. And the external organ of the liver is also important because you need to know, like, how it's being used, right? So the external organ of the liver is called a gallbladder. So your gallbladder is a spender. Okay, you can get it this way. The liver is the boss that provides money. So the blood is like the money, and the chi is how fast the money is being paid. The gallbladder is a worker. The blood will become the amount of work it has. So if you have lots of blood, it's like, oh yeah, they have lots of work in line, okay? And then the chi will be like how fast they are being pushed to work. So if your gallbladder has like a strong pulse, which is like a lot of blood, lots of work, and you have like a fast speed of pulsing, then it's like, yeah, they have lots of work and they're being rushed a lot. So yeah, you imagine workers, they have like piles of work on the table, and the boss is like, fast, fast, this is urgent, urgent, like they're gonna eat you soon, right? Like, yeah, you understand that. So that's how it is. And it all reflects on the eyes, so you can feel it. Senior number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Just to reiterate what you just said, Sergeant, gold is nose, water is ears, wood is eyes, fire is tongue, and earth is mouth. Also, all of these senses are also related to the elements as well. And I also learned how to do the elements on my palm. I'm really excited about that now. And it is, I'm definitely gonna make it a priority to finish the book today. And I'm trying not to go in with the mindset of taking these notes, but it's just so much information that is so captivating that I want to just get into me, that soaks into me. And I know it'll take time because you need to be revisiting this with you and having the physical and practical of it. But I'm just so happy about this book. And also, you mentioned about the rice, about burning the food into the rice. That is like, I didn't even know that is a thing, and that is really practical. So could we also burn the food into rice and fly it over to someone? And if so, why use the paper? Why we don't just use the rice? Because if the rice is a representation of one god and not one troop or a group of troops, wouldn't that be more effective and more strong? Because we creating more gods a lot more quicker and more effective. And have you ever done that before? Use the rice itself, or you prefer just to use the food because it's a little bit more classier? Because I remember you mentioned the story about the guy who just take a whole big bucket of rice and peas and throw it all over the guy's apartment, and he had to go and clean that up. It's it's ridiculous. But yeah, back to you, Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yeah, cleaning up is another thing. Well, there's a difference, of course. A food is like, it can be burnt. So like I can store it up, use it later, and burn it later. But rice, once you put it in the rice, the food is activated. It's already started doing stuff, and you cannot burn the rice, right? So there's like different ways to use it. You can throw it, but you can't burn it. Sometimes you want to burn it, right? So it depends on how you want to use it. The food is the most flexible one, like the paper, because you can burn it into other things later, right? So if I want to clone it into other things later, I can still change my mind. But rice is like you can't do that anymore. It's into the rice. It's into the rice. So yeah. The book, remember, go to the AC group and check out that PDF, because that is the final, that is most updated, and it's in Kindle form. I have added a lot of shit, like a lot. So now it's like a lot of pages. Initially, I remember it was like 220 something. Now it's like 370 something. So yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I added a lot more in the at the beginning and in the at the back, and a lot more about the pulse reading as well. There's like a huge section about the pulse reading, so I decided to just like put those in as well. So yeah, I mean, for $9.99 USD is a huge a huge treasure. You know, I don't see anyone could throw out this kind of thing. It's so amazing. Um, yeah, the five elements. Why do we need five element? Because once you understand the five element pattern, like gold, water, wood, right? You don't need to remember the organs one by one, and then like, oh yeah, because of that, the gallbladder is this, and then this will do good to this. You don't need. You just need everything, what element that is, and when you want to find solution, I can pretty much go back to the element and find it. Like for example, my eyes, right? If my eyes is having too much, too hot, too heated, how do I weaken the eyes? Right? So if you remember like the Western way, oh, the liver is like this, so we need to work on what organ based on the chart, and then I have to remember eating what equals what. Like I don't need all that memorizing because I go back to the elements, right? So okay, we have the wood, which is the main thing, right? What gives birth to wood? Water, right? Water is the kidney, right? So I don't care about kidney. Just look at water. Water is like it's like the wood give birth to fire, right? You burn the wood. So if I kill the kidney, I mean I kill the water chi. I reduce the water chi, right? That will help me to ease the wood, right? So how can I achieve that? Well, let's see. What actually will weaken that water? Earth. Okay, earth can kill the water. Okay, so I take earth element things, which goes to the spleen, and it will help to already ease up my eyes because my eyes is going to get less power inside. The water is what pumps things into the wood, right? I kill it, I reduced it, right? So it's not going to be keep going. So it's like a plant, you know, it's too wet. I put more soil, it soak it up, and the wood is now okay again. Yeah. Team yet number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Thing at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha, that makes a lot more sense. So if it's dampness, you bring in more earth then feeds wood, which increases. Then if the eye is experiencing in this plane blockages, so let's say there's over time there may be an ability to see clearly, like some people have nearsighted or maybe farsighted. It becomes lack of acuity, lack of sharpness. And if it's one of these elements, then what would that be? Ting at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Well, just like you, your issue with the eye blurry is because the kidney is weak. Why I know? Because kidney is water. When you don't have enough water to feed the wood is dying, then your eyes is blurry, right? The eyes function go down. So you have to boost the kidney. And in order to boost the kidney, wait a minute. What have you been doing that is killing that kidney? Stop doing it. Oh, I've been like running every day. I'm a very good girl. I do lots of exercise. I do like deadlifts and, you know, all that stuff that use my leg. And I'm like, okay, wow. Just stop killing yourself. You'll be better, right? Like once you know the problem, you know what to not do so much, right? Once you not do so much of something, hey, look, you're not as bad. It's like once you stop killing yourself, most of the problem is gone. You know, like your body is not so bad. Most of the time is you bringing the problem into your life. It's about stupid issue. You know, like, oh yeah, I like watermelon. Keep eating the watermelon cold and you kill your spleen, right? Just stop doing that, and then your spleen is okay again. Like it's always about. First of all, we never fix the problem first. We look at what is causing the problem, right? And it's always the human that is making things worse. So if you look at a person having whatever issue, you don't look at like number one, let me fix your problem. No, I don't fix your problem. I have to find out why you have the problem. And then I tell you, stop doing that shit. Right? And then once you point it out, oh, okay, I stopped doing that and somehow it's okay again. Yeah. That was the problem. Like Western medicine, they look at you, you say you have a problem, right? Oh, my head hurt. Okay, I sell you a medicine that fixed the head. Oh, my leg hurt. Okay, I sell you a patch, put it on your leg, right? It never fixed the problem because you keep doing whatever thing that is harmful, right? For us, it's different. We see you have a problem, we analyze why you have a problem, and then we say, okay, in your everyday life, are you doing these things? Okay, stop doing that. Good. Now problem is gone. Senior number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Sajan, the way how you're putting it, it's hilarious to me because it's making me realize that Western medicine like to over complicate and over intellectualize things so that the person that they feed in the garbage to doesn't know any better. It's kind of like a con man game. I'm gonna make it seem so complicated so I'm the only one who could explain it to them. So it's kind of like supply and demand. I'm putting myself in a position where I make the person feel like this is so complicated and technical that I'm the only person around that could explain it to them. When no, it's just common sense. Stop doing that dumb shit. Like you told me this morning, don't be a dumbass. Why are you asking your God stupid questions like that? But I only asked you God because I asked you God about if to buy the thing because I remember yesterday I was feeling like yeah, I should have do what Hong Sia Hong did before I buy this because yeah, did not div before I buy. Did not consult the God. And oh, and that's the next question. Which God do you usually use when you're buying stuff? Like whether it's online, when you market, do you use the seafood? Do you use Samuel Josai Hartwell B or Hartwell Zero, the God that's inside of you, whichever one is nearest the proximity? And also, could you go back over how you describe how to kill the different elements? No, I know water kills fire. So we don't need to know all the different organs and all that sort of stuff. Just know 1 to 5, the elements and how to kill them. So if I want to kill it, um, do I? Yeah, that is the problem I'm facing right now. Understanding the process of killing the different elements. The yeah. Back to you, at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Actually, I have to continue that lesson on that B because time is up. But for the God part, well, everyone is different, you see. My God and your God is not the same, right? So here, my landlord likes to jam into things related to teachings and stuff like that. Sometimes the buying stuff. My Josie like to tell me what to buy for a magic item. So eventually, you know who is good at what, right? So you have to work with your God and see, you know, which one. And if like, okay, I want to buy computer stuff. I want to buy, for example, like I think tomorrow I'm going to buy grocery. And then sometimes, like somehow, whenever you walk into the washroom, take shower, you're always thinking of groceries ideas. So now you know your washroom deity, you know, is the one that can help with groceries. So when you need help, you go inside there, talk to them, right? So it's like that. So it's a personal thing, right? So you cannot like say which God I use and then use that God. It's not the same. But I will tell you when I'm home, I just talk to God. I never use Horspell. I don't need to use Horspell. I want to find my Sifu. I just call the Sifu, and that's it. You know, Horspell is for teaching the newbies. When you know how to find the God exactly, just call the God. The God is there, right? It's very simple. Okay, it is. Well, I hand the mic back to Ha one time. The number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Thank you so much. Not to say that it's been enough, because it never is. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'll listen on NetB, but yeah, looking forward to the rest. Ting at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay, yeah, NetB, I'll talk about the 5 element killing, give birth, and all that maybe. Okay, so we'll talk about that. That will be useful. But yeah, now a lot of the times, it's not really your organ have issue. It's more like you're doing some stupid shit that is killing your organ. So you stop doing that, and suddenly you feel like okay again. It's kind of foolish, but yeah, sometimes you look at our habits or things that we learn from TikTok or whatever, right? Oh yeah, the TikTok guys say, we're like eating like this kind of diet will be good. I was slim down, or like I just listened to my friend, and the friend said, don't eat so much for dinner. I followed it. Oh yeah, just stop doing that. It's so funny. Okay, it is now 2:03 p.m. We'll end it here. 73 to all, and we'll see you back online on NetB today. This is Tina number 9. Yankee Uniform Echo is clear.